Okay, so let me start. I'm Ajay, no wait sorry. I'm from Rawalpindi. I want to share something that happened to me about 4 or 5 years ago. It's something I experienced myself. Back then we were looking for a rental house. My father asked a property agent to find us a decent place. The agent showed him a house and my father liked it. He came back and told us about it, so we went to see it and decided to rent it. The house was a 3-story building. The family who owned it lived on the ground floor. We moved into the middle floor, and the top floor belonged to someone else. The rooms we rented were big, really big. But there was one thing, one of the rooms, the third room, like the third bedroom, was locked and they told us we couldn't use it. We didn't press them about why it was locked. In hindsight, that was probably a mistake. We just accepted it and moved in. There were 5 of us in the family, so having 2 good rooms felt fine. At first everything was normal, no problems. But after a month or 2, strange things started happening. These weren't one-off weird noises. It was a pattern of small, unsettling experiences, and it wasn't just me, other things happened in the house too. The first really weird thing that I remember is one night I was sleeping very deeply and suddenly I felt like someone was calling my name. It was like someone leaned close to my ear and whispered my name. I woke up, looked around, everyone else was asleep. No one had called out. I shrugged it off at first, thinking I must have dreamed it, but it happened a few times after that. I'd be asleep and feel like someone called me. That made me uneasy. Another time I was standing near the kitchen door and I could clearly hear breathing, like someone breathing right next to me. It wasn't a subtle thing. It felt so real that I stepped back, convinced someone was standing there. But there was nobody. It wasn't a trick of imagination. The sound was too definite, too close. The bathroom was another place that gave me a creepy feeling. It was one of those attached bathrooms, a little tucked away corner, and whenever I went in there I'd get this sensation of being watched. You know that feeling when you know something or someone is looking at you even though you can't see them. I'd get a prickly, anxious feeling and would hurry out. I avoided spending time in that room. I just didn't want to be there. I should say something about myself. Even as a child I was afraid of the dark in a different way than other kids. Darkness always felt unsettling to me, like there was something just beyond sight. So these feelings piled up on top of that pre-existing fear and made everything worse. Things escalated after a few months. We ended up staying in that house for about 6 or 7 months, but we couldn't stay longer. There were more unexplained things happening in the house, and eventually we moved to another place. But the weirdness didn't stop when we moved. I began having physical reactions. My heart would suddenly race for no reason, even when I was sitting quietly. Sometimes my chest would feel tight. It felt like my heart was pounding hard out of nowhere. I couldn't figure out why. One night in the new house I fell asleep in my room. I must have dozed off for a little while, and then I woke up suddenly. I looked up toward the ceiling and at the fan, and I saw a man standing up there. I don't mean on the fan blade, he seemed to be up by the ceiling, with his back toward me. He looked like an ordinary man, no exaggerated features, no fangs or anything like that, but his eyes were very angry, very intense. I could see him clearly, but when I called out to my family and told them to look up, they couldn't see anyone. Only I could see him. That incident really scared my mom. She took it seriously. She knew something wasn't right with me, especially with the heart palpitations and these visual things I was seeing, so she suggested I see a spiritual healer, someone she knew who deals with these kinds of problems. I went. The woman there asked for my name, my mother's name, a few details, and after a short examination she said I was under a bad kind of attention, like the evil eye or a harmful influence. She performed some readings and gave me some prescribed prayers and things to recite. I felt strange, but I followed her instructions. Even after that first visit I didn't feel completely at ease. My heart and the other symptoms still bothered me a bit, so I went to a second person just to be sure. The second healer confirmed the first healer's assessment and gave me further guidance on prayers and reading to do. I followed that guidance diligently and, thank God, after that things gradually calmed down. Strange incidents stopped happening. My heart settled down. I haven't experienced anything like that since. So that's my story, what I lived through, from the locked room in the first rental to the breathing by the kitchen, the feeling of being watched, the sudden calling of my name at night, the racing heart, and finally seeing that man on the ceiling. It was a frightening few months, but after seeking help and following the healer's advice, it got better. That's it, just wanted to share my experience. Thank you.